Hello, I'm Dr. Kirsten Hunter and welcome to Psych in Your Car. I'm just pulling over to chat about various psychology areas that we all benefit from. Today we're talking about dysfunctional thinking, so ways that you can really be your own worst enemy in the way that you think, and it contributes to anxiety and depression in a really big way, and low self-confidence, of course. So yes, well, basically, I've written these books, Signposts for Living, and they cover 205 clinical areas that are covered in session across the expanse of clinical areas, and this is one of them. So I'm going to cover this now, but it's much more eloquent in the books if you're interested, and you can grab them on all platforms online or my website, kirstenhunterauthor.com. So dysfunctional thinking. 40% of the population experience anxiety and depression, and we all have self-esteem days where we're really struggling. We all have flat days. So we're all impacted by getting things wrong with how we think. So dysfunctional thinking is when we're basically not rational and we're not thinking in a way that's accurate, and we're thinking in a way that is really self-sabotaging, which is not good. So I'm going to go through them. There are here, we have got 7 types of dysfunctional thinking. Let's see which ones you do. And of course, when we know about them, we're able to turn them around. So the first one is mind reading. Now, mind reading is when something happens and we decide that we take a negative interpretation and we just presume we've got it right. And then we have a big reaction to what we think has happened, and we're mind reading. So I just, dropped some podcasts and I sent them to 2 people and said, I contacted them and said, hey, I've just dropped the podcast, and I heard nothing back. I didn't hear an acknowledgement or a thank you or anything, and I thought, oh, that's really, And so I started to mind read and think that they maybe weren't that excited, or they didn't appreciate the fact that we got in and done that great work, and bit of a negative emotional reaction to that. But when I caught up with both the people, it was extraordinary. They told me how it had been quite life-changing for them. It had opened doors, it had started communication with people, it had educated family and friends. So it was actually extraordinary. It's just for whatever reason, they didn't contact me back. And that's okay. I don't actually care about that. I just wanted to know that they appreciated it, or that they felt positively about it. So I mind read and I was wrong. So we mind read all the time, all the time. The second one is the shoulds. We have got this whole lot of rules and judgments, and we just go and impose them on ourselves and create pressure. And shoulds aren't true. Yes, there are some shoulds. You should not murder people. You should not, live on lies. Yeah, but should you do the washing? Should you keep the house right? Or should you go to this event that you don't actually feel up to doing? No, these are choices, but yet we say should all the time. And when we say should, it creates this enormous pressure. So you can rephrase it and just say, I choose to, I want to, it is my priority to do this, or it's not my priority. And then suddenly we use really positive energy, and it isn't a whole lot of negative. So try to get rid of it. The word should be the worst. Should. I would like the word should to be a swear word. Catastrophizing, I'm sure you're familiar with that one. That is when we take a small issue and we go and make it enormous, and we lose all perspective. So that's a common one. Blaming others. When that's a tricky one, but basically it's when we don't take responsibility for our contribution, or we don't realize it's our reaction. The other person doesn't make us angry. We respond in an angry way. The other person doesn't make us anxious. We respond that way, and that's a tough love one. But the positive is that we can't change them. We can only change ourselves. So it's really good to own our contribution to that. The next one is when people feel like we need to be the continual expert on things, and it's really a wonderful thing to realize that we don't always have to have the answers. We don't always know. We don't know what's going on. We can be vulnerable. We can put our hand up, and that just takes a whole lot of pressure off us as well. The next one is we tend to exaggerate the negatives and we discount the positives. So if you were in a group of people and you had 99 points of positive feedback and you had 1 negative feedback, which one do we come away focusing on? And that's not rational, you know. And so it's really, really hard to pull ourselves up and keep things in perspective. If a lot goes right and a bit goes wrong, realize a lot has gone right. As humans, we're really terrible at that. And I think that's because we're designed to look out for threat as a survival mechanism, whereas positive things happening around us, they're great, but they don't actually help our survival. So I think we're kind of designed to do that. The last one is personalization, and that is when we take things personally when they're actually due to a whole lot of variables outside of our control. So that's a big one as well. You know, if someone chooses not to come to an event of yours, don't assume that it's because they don't support you or value you. It could be something going on in their lives. You know, if someone walks along and they've got a kind of harsh look towards you and we think, oh wow, that's because they don't like me, it's probably because they're having a bad day. And they're probably giving everyone else that harsh look as well. So depersonalization is the need to we personalize. We need to not do that. So there you go, guys. They are the top 7 things that we do wrong. And if we can learn that about ourselves, learn what our tendencies are, we can kind of catch ourselves in real time and turn it around, hopefully. So yeah, if you want to catch me, I'm on KirstenHunterAuthor.com, Facebook and Instagram, Kirsten Hunter Author, and Twitter, Kirsten Hunter AU. And you're welcome to grab, bit glary, Signposts for Living Books. And yeah, they're doing really well, which is exciting. So love sharing all this information. We should all have it. Okay, take care, bye.